We had an anonymous email. I mean, the name is there, but he asked me to not mention it. You will see why when I read the question. That a brother emails and says that his parents have put him into an arranged marriage situation. After a long time of saying no to a lot of people, he eventually caved in. But he is now saying that he is actually not attracted to the opposite gender. He is battling with same-sex attraction, and he has resigned himself to living a celibate life, to not acting on his impulses. He is fine with all of this, that he is not expecting to, he's not asking for any type of justification for anything, but all he is saying now is that he does not know what to do because his parents have now for a long time been pressuring him. Now finally he has acquiesced. He wants to make his parents happy, but he feels that he cannot fulfill the rights of his wife or be a husband in the intimate sense to his wife.
وما أرسلنا من قبلك إلا رجالا نوحي إليهم فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون.
The response to this, dear brother in Islam, you cannot allow this marriage to take place, and the situation is as you have described. You are sinful to Allah in this case because this is not a personal issue that you're battling with. What you're battling with once you get married will affect your wife as well, because you see, in this case, the brother is saying, and he explicitly said this, that he has no attraction to the opposite gender. He is only attracted to the same gender. And we already spoke about this topic in a number of other previous lectures. He's not asking about that ruling. He knows it is not allowed. He's not going to act upon it, but he was wanting to live a single life. That's it. He's not going to get married. But now his parents are pressuring him and he doesn't know what to say. He's basically confused. He doesn't want to obviously mention the reason why. So, dear brother in Islam, listen to me. I cannot tell you how to back out, how or what to say to your parents and to your family and friends. That's something you need to think about. Whether you want to, I understand, in the cultures that we are in, you probably cannot say this to them. But just because you cannot say this, there are other excuses that can be given that might be, more easier for them to understand or deal with. Of them, by the way, I'm just giving you some ideas here. There's something called asexual desire, i.e., people have no desire whatsoever. They are asexual. They simply have no desire whatsoever. And they are a small percentage of humanity, but they are there. They simply cannot, people are created differently. And so it's not, their fault or anyway. It's just the way they are. Just like it's not your fault that you're attracted to the same gender. But just because you have a desire or lack of desire doesn't mean that you have to, act upon it. So you can say that you are not interested, in intimacy at all, and the thought, you find it repulsive and it's not going to work for you, and you're going to do injustice to the lady. And other things can also be said. I mean, again, speak to your close friends that might be able to help you out in your particular culture. I cannot tell you how to back out, but I am telling you, you must back out. You cannot begin a relationship with another human being and she's walking in completely innocent, not knowing anything about you in this regard, and expecting to have a normal family life and a normal marital relations. And obviously, she will want to have children, etc., etc. And you are saying that's not going to happen at all. Dear brother, if you do this, you are sinful in the eyes of Allah. You are not sinful for telling your parents the truth and making them hurt and irritated because of the truth. That's something that's their fault. It's not, if they were to get angry and yell and scream, you are not sinful. You are sinful for obeying your parents in this regard when it's going to harm an innocent soul. You cannot obey your parents. You are sinful in this case for obeying your parents because there's an innocent party involved. It's not just you and your parents. There's an innocent party involved. Also, I have heard of this happening, and anecdotally I know that this has happened. that this issue of being attracted to the same gender, it is an issue that we are confronting as an ummah now, and we're talking about this more and more people want to live faithful lives to Islam. They don't want to practice this feeling, but at the same time they cannot change who they are. And I am aware that at least in the Western world there are email, or Google groups or something of this nature where people are struggling with this desire and not wanting to act upon it. And a man and a woman who are both struggling with the same issue, they decide that, it's best for us two to get married as Islamic nikah, and just be companions to one another, even if it's platonic, but they both understand what is going on, so that it will help their families and they get along anyway, they're friends anyway, they might not have to be intimate. Because here's the point: if you were to find a lady that doesn't mind not being intimate and not having children, that's completely permissible. I mean, it's not obligatory, to be intimate, to have sex. It's not obligatory to have children. The problem comes that obviously your wife, as you have described, is completely clueless about your issue. So you cannot just enter into a contract in this manner and then expect to tell her the day after the marriage. That's not fair. That's an injustice. But if you were to find a lady that is actually wanting the same type of scenario that you're describing, which is no intimacy and no children, and just a partnership that, just taking care of one another and friendship and whatnot, this is something that these days, because of the internet and because of whatnot, inshallah ta'ala, it is possible. So think about this. I mean, I cannot advise you to actually do this. It's not something I know you that well that I can tell you, but I'm saying you know your situation best. Think about, maybe this might be the best way that you can make your family and friends happy, that you are married. There is another lady that also needs to make her parents happy that she is married, and the both of you understand that this is what it is, and there's no sin if that were to happen, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best.
يا من أجبت دعاء نوح فانتصر وحملته في فلكك المشحون، يا من أحال النار حول خليله روحا وريحانا